people just personally pick on me. That's really what it is. People like specifically pick on me because for a long time people feel like I didn't belong in like the industry or the music industry and this and that. That's what I feel like, especially me being with Halle. She's a superstar. She's the greatest ever. Being around her, I feel like it made a lot of people side-eye me because they had already had, she's a princess. So they already had their mind set up about her, and they look at me and I don't fit that image. But it's cool. It's a reason why she stayed with me. It's a reason why we had a child together. It's a reason why all of this happened. Like, me and Halle are forever family. Forever. I will Swiss cheese your granny. I don't care if she's...
Hey guys, welcome to Little Blackbird 91. I'm going to play a few more videos to kind of give you a bit of perspective, but I want to let you know this. I don't believe that Halle is better than DDG. I know it's going to be so annoying to hear that, and I know a lot of you have got think pieces that you want to explain how you feel. Neither are better than the other. When you date somebody, you don't become better than them, right? You are at an equilibrium. You chose them because of certain things about them that show that you are on their level or they are on your level. Right? Whether you think you're better than them makes no difference because a choice you made was in alignment with the fact that this is what you need for you. So in that case, they're never better than you and you're never better than them. So we don't have Halle being she deserves better and she is better. We don't even know the relationship. There isn't even that much information. Now, what I will say is that what I have seen from DDG, and I did a video on this about a year ago, was I never liked the behavior that he did with the Ruby Rose situation. It showed immaturity. It was, and it also was he exposed Halle emotionally, mentally, and physically to the world in a particular way that allowed for men to start talking wickedness and bad on Halle, and also caused his relationship to be in the limelight in a particular way that was not actually conducive to a relationship. So I will say that, right? Because I think that in itself, as a man, leadership requires you to also be mature in certain ways that don't expose your relationship, that allow snakes and people outside who don't have an inkling about what's going on in your relationship to be able to start commenting in a particular way. When the Ruby Rose situation took place, his behavior was immature. It very much was, right? It lacked foresight. I said this. Right, and in that case, that also allowed for other women to come at DDG and say what they felt about him. Now they already had those thought processes towards him already. Okay, we're hearing people like saying, "I don't know who DDG is," and he broke this and that, and he's not. He's a very successful YouTuber from a very young age. I think he was from about 16, 17. He's big. Like if we had what we had now with what Twitch is with Kai Cenat, he would have been what he was in those days. Right? He makes a lot of money from social media content. So. This is a very successful young man, and he is not from. He's not just for anybody. So when we hear women, especially, talk about this, and I don't know him until I knew Halle. Yeah, some people didn't know Halle until they knew DDG. What you must understand is your world is not your worldview worldview frame is not the only perspective that exists in the world, right? And so whenever you get into relationships, and this is the really biggest crux of it, whenever you get into relationships, you must understand two things. We like mirrors, and the mirror is two things, right? From a biblical standpoint, Genesis 2, when Adam said, "It's a bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh," when we choose people, we choose them based upon the fact that either they are similar to us with certain behaviors, characteristics, values, ideas, whatever, mental, emotional, spiritual, sexual perspectives, right? Or intimacies, right? We see similarities between us and them, or what we see is that they have qualities that we like, that we are trying to attain, and they have it. And there's a third part. A third part is repeated patterns of what we've seen from parents, and so we are repeating those patterns in a relationship based upon our own self-belief of what we feel about ourselves, which we project onto a relationship onto others. And so we watch their behavior to reconfirm the biases and the confirmational biases of belief that we hold about ourselves. If you believe you're valuable, you are likely to choose a partner who sees value in you. If you feel like you're not valuable, you're liable to choose somebody who doesn't see value in you. If you don't believe that your time is worthy, you're liable to choose somebody who doesn't believe your time is worthy, or you might go the opposite end, an extreme, where you choose somebody who goes, "You know what, I value your time way more than you actually do." and then you start to sabotage. So you know, finding a balance is very difficult, because you can go either way. You can go to the extreme, which means you can go to the extreme where you begin to not value your time and you might sabotage, or where you go the opposite way and the person values your time, your energy, your love, your words, you know, your sex, whatever the intimacies are, right? And they might value it more than you do, and find that actually what ends up happening is you start sabotaging or they start sabotaging, right? Because they can feel like their energy is not reciprocated in a particular way. And so the important thing to understand is, when you enter a relationship, don't look back at your exes and be like, I was so much better than them. No, you weren't. That's the mindset you had at that time. You were right where you needed to be. Okay? Now, you may have grown. Fantastic. Absolutely, well done, because that's what we need you to be. We need you to be healed. We need you to sit on a bench and grow, right? But at that time, your belief was limited enough to choose that person. You were not better than that person at that time. Now, you may have grown now, but at that time you weren't. So these conversations around DDG can be a little bit triggering and frustrating for a lot of people, especially men, when I watch on the internet, because really and truly, what you're almost saying is like, oh no, Halle is better than him. What? Well, she just had a kid with him. So what does that mean about her? She can't be better than what she would not choose to be better than. Oh, let's talk about this. You can't say that you're better than something, yet your emotions are dictating you to choose what's not better than you. That means you're not actually better than that, because actually your emotions are what triggers you to choose what's not good for you. Therefore, how good can you actually be? Right? Now, you may know it to be better, as in your belief. You believe it should be, and I should choose better, but it's not your faith. You don't hold it as your actual truth. You don't hold it as your actual confidence and trust. And if it did, it would translate into behavior. See, what you have faith in, you do consistently. Now, what you have belief in, you may do once or twice, but it will not be consistent, because belief simply means to accept something is true. And so to accept something true, even the demons believe that God is one, but they don't have faith in Jesus. You know why? Because they place no confidence and no trust in him. They believe he's one, but that's about it. So what you must understand is that whether you believe it or not really makes no difference. It is whether you can put it into action, whether trust and confidence come into that place. And that usually comes through repetitive choices that you choose over and over and over again. It is a willingness to deny and sacrifice some of the thought processes or some of the actions that are dictated by a thought process to be able to get a different action. Different inputs lead to different outputs. If you are choosing someone who you believe you're better than, why are you there? No, you say you're better than this, yet you're there. Maybe you're not as better as you think you are. And your actions are showing you that you really aren't there. And so you actually need to start changing the way that you actually think and what's coming in, and then begin to change your actions. Right? So we're going to play a couple of these videos. Hopefully that's been helpful, and we'll talk a bit more.
When it comes to this whole DDG and Halle Bailey situation, it's not that the internet broke them up. Sometimes the internet be right. As much as people want to say people on the internet be yapping and talking, sometimes the internet be right. And believe it or not, we like Halle. We really like Halle. She's our Disney princess. She's the first black mermaid. You know what I'm saying? Like, we love her. We love the path that she's on. We love her. Like, you know what I'm saying? We love her trajectory, and we know that where she can go. So watching her get with someone like DDG, nothing wrong with him per se. However, his track record of the type of women that he normally dates, then to get with someone like Halle, who we're not known in the industry for dating and things of that nature. So she has more of an innocence, like, to her. And even his exes had issues with him. So I'm not saying, I don't know why their relationship ended, but sometimes women who have dealt with men like DDG can see certain signs. While she's on her tour for Disney, he's doing shit, dropping shit, like, to distract the audience from what she has going on. And that in itself is like, why are you doing that? Like, the rollout for The Little Mermaid is not gonna last for fucking ever. It's gonna be a couple months. Like, just relax for a couple months to allow your partner to have her moment. And it's not like he can't see it. So it's like the first time something happens, it's not like he's like, okay, like, you know what? Let me not do that again, cause I don't want to take away from what she has going on. but it's jealousy. We see it in the men. We see it in Offset. We see it in Iman, whatever the fuck his name is. These men that get with women who have a bigger light than them, they always do shit, act up to take away from what the women going on. And I will say, on the internet, we probably didn't make his ego any better, because you ain't shit. You don't deserve to be with her. Every chance we got. But we was right.
No, but and again, you know, I think there is some truth to that, right? I think, you know, and the thing is, I said there's some truth to that. I'll probably have to do another research. I'll probably do a part 2 to that. And I'm sorry about the swearing. I didn't realize I had that many swearing. I only watched half the video, so I do apologize for anybody who's watching as a Christian as well. I'll take some accountability on that. But I would say, obviously, with the perspective of the DDG situation, right? I think what's interesting about this is that when you look at how people were saying things, right, you're not going to help the situation. You actually dug Halle a deeper hole by keeping on saying that, you know what, she deserves better. She deserves better. She not until she sees it herself, it will never process. Now, do I think she's better than that? I'm not going to say yes or no. I don't know if I don't have enough information to be able to say like yes or no. What I will say is I keep hearing about this mermaid situation that he was trying to outshine her, and I don't actually hear anybody's actual example of that. Now, maybe the Ruby Rose situation that happened at the same time, we could say that that's what happened, but we can also say that was coincidental too, as well, that they had problems at the same time. Like, is there a pattern of behavior that we have seen? And by the way, I'm always willing to be corrected, so you can put it in the comment section. I'll be happy to be corrected. Is there a pattern of behavior established, or is this a feeling that you have? By the way, women's intuition, pretty accurate. I can't lie to you. I'm not going to try and fight you on it. But I also want to make you very aware that you're also wrong sometimes. And that's just, and so we have to be very, very careful, not just to go by your intuition, right? Now, do I believe that there are some things that need to be worked out between the both of them? Absolutely. They are young. They've now got a child. And there are actual issues on both sides. And what happens a lot of times in these relationships is that, for instance, what we're hearing, Halle is the Disney princess, so she doesn't doo-doo. Her breath don't stink in the morning. Like, we start making women, sometimes we make men or women, both sizes, by the way, men and women, that these people are absolutely, irrevocably perfect. And what ends up happening is, because of perception of how they look, you don't know how to behave in a relationship. You have no clue. None whatsoever. Right? And so what ends up happening is people then make the judgment based upon the perception that they have of that particular person, that, okay, they are definitely bad. And like I said, if they are that bad, why would she choose him? And that's where we have to really have the conversation. If he's that bad that you guys can that a lot of ladies can see that he's not for her, that he's a jealous broad and he's this and that, we have to ask also the question on the equatable side: what is within Halle that she would choose someone like DDG to be her partner long term and to also have a child by? And really, I really don't like this he trapped her situation, because when it comes to the A word, we say that it's woman's womb, woman's body. They can do whatever they want. Well, then if they can do whatever they want, how does he trap her? I'm not saying when men don't trap women. I mean, they do. They be lying to them and I'm trying to keep them a baby, so we're not going to pretend they don't. But I'm just kind of bringing some logic to the table here. If it is your womb and it's your body, then you actually have absolute power over this decision making. And in fact, it goes to both parties not being accountable. And see, having a baby takes two people, and what tends to happen is either the men fall onto the men's side, oh my god, like she trapped him, or we go to the other side, oh my god, he trapped her. And we need to stop doing that. Have a balance. Both of these people are, if this person's problematic and you stay in a relationship for that long, you are also probably going to have problematic traits about you. There ain't no way you stay in a relationship for longer than a year or 2 years and then the person's problematic the whole way through and you're not problematic at all. You're not problematic at all. See, bad company corrupts good morale. Eventually, it will get on you. You know what I'm saying to you, right? Water finds its level, and maybe your level isn't that isn't that higher than the person you think it actually is. And that's where sometimes we need to really come to a realization and have a real sit down with self and actually look at ourselves and go, actually, am I really better than I'm really saying that my partner is, or my ex-partner is? Am I really better than them? Am I really better than the person I just let go? Or is it that actually now I need to get to a place where actually I make better choices and actually I need to be better? Because we can only see that through the reflection of your choices. Not because you said you're better. No. Let's see the choices you make. That will show me that you are better. Faith without works is dead. And see, real faith in God will actually produce works. And so if you really have faith in what you say, that you actually feel like you are better, choose better, discern better, have better judgment. Then we know you're doing better. But if you go and choose the same person again, then you ain't no better than your ex. And he ain't better than her. Right? But I'm going to leave it there. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification uploads. Let me know your thoughts down below. Listen, this is why we coach people all the time. It's why we coach clients. If you do want some coaching, can't lie to you, my diary is booked up for 2024, but I do have some emergency slots. You can click on that link down below in the description box.